Containing China will be a challenge of the Biden administration. The Chinese government sanctioned several high-ranking officials who worked for President Trump as their administration was coming to an end, in a sign of just how tense the relations have become. So where do these two superpowers go from here? Could relations get worse? And what does this mean for the pro-democracy movement in places like Hong Kong? Britt Clennett reports.
Beijing's crackdown in Hong Kong reaching a new crescendo, a dramatic pre-dawn sweep of the city's remaining pro-democracy advocates, police arresting 53 of them at their homes. Among them, American human rights lawyer John Clancy, the first foreigner to fall foul of Beijing's new security law enacted 6 months ago. The 79-year-old using his crutch as he's escorted out of his office in downtown Hong Kong.
I was very surprised, both the search and also about the charges.
Clancy, a former priest, and most of the others were released on bail without charge, their passports confiscated.
I didn't have any plans to leave before this happened. I have no plans to leave right now.
The crackdown is linked to an unofficial primary poll back in July to select opposition candidates for a now postponed legislative election. All of the primary candidates were arrested in the sweep. Since the security law was introduced last summer, Beijing has become increasingly emboldened. They say the crackdown's goal is to return stability to the city after the 2019 demonstrations.
Just saw the police moving forward, protesters retreat, and again another protester down on the ground being pinned to the floor. It looks like he's been arrested.
The reality in today's Hong Kong is that the loudest voices in the Democratic camp are either in jail or in exile. The raid in Hong Kong came just hours before the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Chinese state media had a field day over footage of the rioters storming the Capitol, playing up a narrative of its rival superpower in turmoil, drawing comparisons between the U.S. insurrection and the 2019 break-in of Hong Kong's legislative chamber, saying in a statement, the U.S. mainstream media unanimously condemned the protest, calling it an incident of violence. But which words did they use to describe the violent protesters in Hong Kong? A beautiful sight to behold. The increasingly strident tone underscores the challenges the Biden administration faces from the get-go.
Does the current unrest in the U.S. strengthen Beijing's hand in quashing dissidents and opposition in Hong Kong?
The problems in America right now give Beijing the opportunity to take a tougher position where it can say to its own people, look at what democracy brings.
Professor David Zweig has been a China expert for more than 50 years. He says China will be open to bettering ties.
But will it do anything to try and, will it make any concessions, right? Will it soften its position on Taiwan? Will it soften its positions on the East China Sea? Will it soften its positions in Xinjiang? And I think that they probably feel they're waiting to see what the Biden position is going to be.
From trade to security issues, the Trump administration has taken a more hardline approach to China than previous administrations. China, too, has flexed its muscles on a number of fronts.
They've had a border skirmish with the Indians. They've had a tougher relationship with Taiwan. They've cracked down in Hong Kong.
In recent months, the former administration has significantly stepped up support for Taiwan, which China sees as a breakaway province. Taiwanese military seen here in a drill on Monday aimed at repelling a Chinese attack. Beijing views the Taiwan issue as a red line, one of the many potential points of conflict for the Biden administration. But unlike other Trump policies, they plan to stick with much of Trump's pressure, including tariffs and sanctions.
I also believe that President Trump was right in taking a tougher approach to China. I disagree very much with the way that he went about it in a number of areas, but the basic principle was the right one, and I think that's actually helpful.
Anthony Blinken, Biden's pick for Secretary of State, says what will be different is rallying allies around U.S. leadership.
America, at its best, still has a greater ability than any country on earth to mobilize others for the common good.
But the Biden administration will start from behind, with U.S. alliances under strain from Trump's taunts and tariffs, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo calling China's policies on Muslims genocide. China inking 2 major trade pacts in the last few months with the European Union and with 14 Asia-Pacific countries. Even with allies, Biden, who already has a working relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping from his time as Obama's VP, may find his options are especially limited on Hong Kong.
What can the Biden administration do about Hong Kong? I don't think they can do very much.
Zweig says the few options the U.S. does have may end up hurting more than helping.
What are they going to do? More sanctions, threaten to freeze people's assets? Anything that they do like that in the end winds up hurting the people of Hong Kong, right? It hurts American businesses in Hong Kong.
Back in Hong Kong, activists like Clancy are keeping the faith.
John, do you have anything to say to Hong Kong people?
Continue to work for democracy and human rights in Hong Kong.
For ABC News Live in Hong Kong, Britt Clennett.
Our thanks to Britt for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.